Thank you, Ryan. Well, and thank you everybody for coming. As you heard, well, I'm a learning experience designer from the University of Teacher Education in St.Gallen, as you just heard. And today I'd like to invite you to reimagine the database activity with me. Now, let me see a quick show of hands. How many of you have used the quiz activity? Everybody almost, I'd say. How about the database activity? Oh, quite a lot. How many of you create database activities regularly? Oh, a lot fewer, about 5. How many create them regularly and have fun doing so? 1, 2, 3, okay. But everyone else is probably at the right spot now here, because I'll try to make the life easier for you. So we've had this one, actually. This is the activity I'm talking about. And the reason why only 3 people left their hand up is probably because the database activity is quite complex. And the user interface might make you run away, and even your dog might get scared if it saw the user interface if you open the database activity. So for those who are not that familiar with the database activity, very, very quickly, a recap. When you open the database activity in Moodle 4.5, this is, you have these 4 presets. The image gallery, the resource, the journal, and the proposal. And these, when you use one of them, you have to complete an entry form, as you all know probably, where when you've completed that, you get to the single list, or single view, actually your entry, in other words. And from there, this is just an example, right? And from there, if you've got your entry, then you can get to the so-called list view, where you see all the entries that you have made or your learners have made. This is the preset image gallery. If you use one of the others, like the journal, your result will look a bit more like a blog. If you use the resource preset, then the entries are listed in a table. These are all originals, just the information is from me, but they look exactly like this. And if you use the proposal, your entries will be arranged in an accordion, and it will look like this. Now, these 4 presets, they all list your entries, the title, the text, the images that you use in cards, tables, or accordions. They're very simple, but there's little interaction going on. So they're all very similar. Actually, there's no interaction, or very little interaction going on. And I was wondering if you could imagine doing other things with the database activity, like brainstorming, or create a board with it, or flashcards, or create a podcast with it. Have you ever thought about that? Probably not so many. Yeah? Or support users with a QR code that you create within your database activity. And there are lots of other things you can do, and that's what I'd like to show you now. And actually, you'll have to work for that too, because you've all got, or many of you have got already some login data. And there's this kangaroo for me actually there, not to jump to the next slide before I've informed you and checked if the network is fine. And I think it is, it's been fine these days, so we'll go for a try. And I'd like you to scan in the QR code that I'll show you in a second, log in with the credentials that you have on those little cards that you got. Has anybody not got a card? Okay, 1 or 2, 3, 4. Use a number between 300 and 400 as your username and the password. So those who don't have a card, then you'll get in as well. And once you're in there, add an entry to the template, to the database activity. So this is the QR code. If you use the one on the card, then you just go into the first course, which is called Word Cloud. Otherwise, scan this one, log in, and add an entry. And I'll go there too with my user. Let's see. So I'll go into the word cloud course, and you will, so let's see. Okay, and then in here, probably some of you have been in here by now already. It's just me being slow. Okay, so this is really slow. Then let me, oops. No, it's too slow. Then let me just move on here on slides. If you've been in there, you have been able to enter some words, and something you will have seen something like this, a learning map where your entry is also part of this word cloud. What do you say, learning map? A word cloud, of course. It says here learning map, that's why. And you can use that preset. You will find that in the course where you just found the database activity, you can use that in your own courses. You can download that preset, upload it in your own database activity in your course, so no plugin or anything, it's just something that you upload in your database activity and use that word cloud. Let's go on. You could use it, as I said before, for shared knowledge bases with the presets that exist, but you could of course also style these presets, have cards with colorful badges, categories, tags, keywords at the bottom. You could also define the background color and help or provide more orientation to your learners. Pick the color of the card and the color of the font, of course, so it still is accessible to your learners. And we've seen now you can arrange links, text, files. What about locations? And you probably never thought of that, and I don't know if it works now, so maybe I try it first and then you move on. So I'll click onto this link here. Oh no. Okay. There should be an interactive map coming up where you can, while this is loading, I'll return to the presentation. While this is loading, so there should be an interactive map coming up where you enter a name of the location that you would like to share, add some text to it, and then the result will be all the locations that you've entered this will be the list view, right? This is a template by Matthias Giger, a colleague from Switzerland, and this is, I think, a fantastic use of the database activity. Let's see if it has loaded in the meantime. No. Yeah, I'm still on the right network. Yeah. Nothing happening. Okay. What a pity. But it will be available all week and longer, so you can still go there later on. And of course, you can also download that preset. Now, something else you could do is create a board. This is a template by a colleague called Florian Dagner. I think it was him, yes, who provides us with the possibility to create post-its. You pick the color, you add whatever you want to, and at the bottom you can also open a whiteboard, which then looks like this, where you pick your color, there's even an eraser, you can draw things, things you can do on a board. And then at the end, it might look like this. Now, are there any teachers in here? Okay, a few. So the teaching tools, there are some teaching tools as well. One of them is a task completion tracker, which you could use elsewhere too, but I'll skip this one just because of the time. I like this one a lot. Well, the task completion tracker, just so that I say something about it, is that you set tasks to your learners. Could be hand in the letter of confirmation signed by your parents or whatever. And each of these tasks is then listed in your database activity with the name of your learners. And once a learner has handed something in, you tick a checkbox, that was visible here, or untick the learner, and then you get, as a result, the task saying, well, 44 learners have, let's say, not handed in the letter of confirmation, or something for attendance if you need that. Now the lucky draw, let me try if it works, because this is so nice. This is still loading. Let's see if I can get this going. No. Where is it?
Can we all stop using it?
Yeah, the lucky draw. Maybe at least this one works. The preset is there again, in case it's, yeah, here it is. Thank you. So, I've already added some names, and now I'll start and pick a name. Oops. The lucky one is Tim. Is there Tim in here? Oh yes, there is. Tim, you're the one. So the first exam question will be for you. No, okay, so that's what you can do with that. Or if Tim was absent, I could delete Tim, sorry, Tim. And pick someone else. Marie would be the next one. And if I had to arrange students in groups or learners in groups, I could say create groups of 4, start. Hang on, is there only one name in here? Yeah, sorry, this is an example where there's only one name in there, but there could be several. Weird, let's put some in here. Okay, any? And then down here, start again. And you can see, oops, stop this, that there are now 2 teams with the people, the names that I've just entered. So for grouping, I think this is lovely. Then, what else? Can't see anything. Here, this was this. Then, these are just little features. Let me move on. This is also about the lucky draw. Can you do surveys and reflections? Yes, of course, otherwise I wouldn't talk about this. Yeah, you can have an opinion spectrum where you have a statement, let's say, I don't know, that's not a question, a statement, mobile phones in primary schools are a good thing, is the statement. And then your learners would rate that statement, make a comment, and their comment, their profile picture are placed then on this continuum, on this spectrum. There are, of course, also other possibilities to provide feedback or get feedback. I'll show you 2 more later. Practicing, yes, you can practice. You can create flashcards. I would have loved to show you that. Let's give it one more try. I know that you all know flashcards, but maybe you don't know in German how to say something. Okay, loading. No, I go on. So you could also create podcasts. The learners upload, or you yourself upload some audio files, a title and an audio file. They're all listed up here, and maybe this works if no, this is too much data if I try that. Well, anyway, if you press play, then all the tracks are played, of course. And something a bit different is this one, not to be scanned by you. It's a really great idea, again, by Florian Dagner. He, and I was only styling this a little bit, he had the idea of providing QR codes to his learners for a treasure hunt or on a PDF, but not creating those just creating those QR codes. There are different tools which you can use to do that, but at the same time provide the the information which the QR code would deliver. Maybe the solution to a task, maybe a video, some extra information, a hint, a diagram, whatever. So what you do with this preset or with this database activity, you as a trainer, teacher, you enter the information like the video that you would like to provide. You decide if you should have a solution or not. And then, it's a pity I can't show you live, then in the database activity, the QR code is created automatically for you. You just right-click on it, save the QR code, put it wherever you want to in another Moodle activity or elsewhere. And then when the learners click on that, or scan the QR code, not click, scan the QR code, they'll get to the individual entry where you'll find the hint, the solution, or whatever you have placed there for them. And if you open these bars, then there's the information in here, like this example. A meeting with some people I meet regularly on a Thursday evening, and I'll show them later to you because I owe them a little bit, or quite a lot, for this presentation. So let's move on. Feedback, I said, yes, you can create exit tickets as well. This is this preset. If you download that, that will offer you different possibilities to get feedback from your learners. It could be feedback, or you encourage them to reflect a little bit about the last session or class or whatever. And when they open, they can pick whichever they want to, right? There are different types, like you can ask them to enter the key terms of this session, or create a cheat sheet, or use emojis to give you feedback, like here, the emojis. They would tick different emojis. They can add some text at the bottom. And then you, as a trainer, would have all their reflections, their thoughts, their feedback at one place in your database activity. Now, how did I do all that? Or if you wanted not to use the presets, then you would need some code snippets, which you add in the templates of the database activity to be able to hide different UI elements in the database activity, or to, what else is there, to hide the footer or the top, the search, or to have a color picker there and do all these things. But this is quite some work, as you can imagine. And I haven't been able to build a home for those code snippets yet, but I'm planning to do so. Or I'll just wait for other Moodlers to do so, or I'll wait till Moodle Core offers more presets and a better interface. Now, there are good reasons, as you've just seen, to use the database activity. Here is a brief summary of what I've been talking about. If you wanted some practical tips, I'd say, well, go for the presets, go for simple ones first. The ones that are there in the core, they're fine to start off with. Or use the ones I have just shown you, and I'll also show you some more sites that provide other presets. The ones I can show you on the other sites, they're in German, but code, well, those who know code, they will also understand that, of course. And what else? Bear in mind your learners, of course, especially also the entry forms can be, if you have too much in there and in a chaotic way, that can be a struggle for your learners, not just for you, but also for your learners. And produce reusable things. I can only recommend that because it normally takes quite some time to produce those. The ones from the colleagues that I've shown you, I just translated them. And that was already quite some work to get also the classes, the CSS classes and everything translated. So that was quite some work. And if you know as little code as I do, then you can also ask AI, of course, to assist you. And it works as well as with all the other things we use AI for. So you need some patience too, and some experience. And what else? Yeah, and then of course use other Moodlers, like some people here in the front who are part of a group of Moodlers. We call ourselves Moodlebande, which is something like the gang of Moodlers in English. And we meet once a week in the evening, Thursday evenings, online. We work in different places, different countries, different institutions, and discuss Moodle issues. And that's also how I got hold of some of these presets. The people listed here, they are Moodle cracks and experts and, well, many things. One of them is sitting here in the front. If you want to talk about code, then talk to Stefan. And these sites, well, these provide, as I said before, different database activity examples. Now, what's maybe the next step? Well, I'm trying to find a home, a way of collecting these code snippets. I have a lot more presets than I've shown you. It's about 40 now or something. And, well, I'll have to find a way how I can get that organized. It could be a database activity that I would use for all those database activities, or I imagine maybe it would be great to have something like the plugin directory for database activity presets. How would that be? Or, as we had this morning, there's a marketplace coming up, so how about having presets in the marketplace? Wouldn't that be nice? Would it? Yeah? Okay, good. So, last but not least, my final activity for you would be to provide me with feedback. And, and if you can't get in now, maybe you can take a photo of that QR code and do it later. That would be really great. And this is also a lovely activity because once you're in there, there are some statements which you can rate. And once you're in there, you will see this target board and there will be dots popping up for all the users who enter their feedback. And so this can be used for feedback, of course, or other spontaneous, well, feedback, not necessarily on sessions, but all kinds of feedback that you can collect. Well, so this was it. It's just about time, probably, for me to stop talking and let you go on with the feedback or have questions, ask questions.
Lovely. Thank you, Judith, and great work. Those templates and styles are absolutely wonderful. Do we have any questions for Judith before we move along?
There is one.
First of all,
You're good.
Okay, thank you for this really interesting presentation. You know your ideas are a hit if the full room breaks the internet just for wanting to get stuck in. So compliments on this. Just one question. We're moving from Moodle 4.5 to 5.0. Are there any challenges moving from Bootstrap 4 to Bootstrap 5 in the examples you shared? And do we have to rework them?
I don't have Moodle 5, but I've used the same presets on previous Moodle versions. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't. Yeah. There are some difficulties. There will be.
There will be, okay.
Stefan says. With all of them? With all of them?
Well, if there are any difficulties, I know there will be plenty of people here who want to solve them for you to have the next updated version of these.
Okay, that would be lovely. That would be great.
I could probably just answer what you were saying. There are already CSS files online where you can put it where you have the Bootstrap 4 CSS, and it will kind of merge with Bootstrap 5 until you do that work. So you can really easily migrate and then do the work afterwards.
Here's the answer. Perfect.
Here we have another question. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Gara from Catalyst IT. Hi, I'm Gara from Catalyst IT. Just for your information, Moodle does provide a content sharing platform. It's called Moodle.net, where you can actually publish your content.
Oh, yeah.
So if anybody wants to share their content.
Thanks for mentioning that. I've been to Moodle.net and got some inspiration there as well. And that's also, of course, a place where people could upload presets. But there you would only have the preset. And I would like to have a course where you can actually see the result before you download the preset and install it in your own system. So maybe that could be improved about Moodle.net.
All right, one more question. I've got your microphone right here.
Hey, Judith. Did you use JavaScript also with these presets?
In some of them, yes.
So you need to be knowledgeable.
Yeah, which is where I said, it's not me. It's either I got the preset from somewhere and adapted it the way I wanted it, or I used AI.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. That's the answer for everything.
That's and it does, after some training and with some prompts, it does quite a good job at times, but it can be
Beautiful
rubbish as
work.
well, to be honest.
Yeah, very impressive. Thank you.
Absolutely. One more round of applause, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.